This cost of living crisis is all very difficult for all of us. There's no two ways about it. But have you noticed now with businesses how particularly when they collapse, it's never really the CEO's fault, is it? It's never the people at the top. It's always the little people like you and I that lose jobs, that have to scratch around, try and put our lives back together. All the while, these people that allegedly know so much and are so well educated make an absolute hash of it. You know, we saw it recently, didn't we, with the Waitrose chain, the John Lewis chain. This was the very first time in their 100-plus-year history of said chain that they didn't make a profit. But because, of course, they have a person in charge at the top that nobody wishes to offend, then the bottom line is, then nobody dares say really what a mess they're making of it. Now they've brought somebody in at the sidelines on extra money to try and revert the problem that this particular individual has done to a well-loved and trusted UK brand. Over here in the United Kingdom, we're getting this particular story about a once loved brand too. That's right, Marks and Spencer's. We told you recently about how they wanted to pull down the iconic store on Oxford Street, the 1930s building, because they wanted to build a bigger, better store with flats on top and all that sort of stuff. Of course, they were stopped in their tracks by the Member of Parliament, Michael Gove, for now at least. So now their PR team are spinning this, how Marks and Spencer's is back on track and business is quite frankly booming once again. Well, if you've been into their stores over here in the United Kingdom, the only thing booming, quite literally, are the prices. People simply can't afford them. But you see, that's not the narrative that that particular store or group wants to share with you. Now, you may ask, well, Neil, if the papers are printing it, it would have to be true. Let me tell you how that works. You see, Marks and Spencer's have actually come back to profit. That's 100% true. But the bottom line is this. Profit has returned simply because they've put prices up, which means more money in the tills. The bigger profits have come from the fact that they've shut endless stores and put so many people out of work, which by having less stores and less operating profit, then they return to normal profit for the smaller stores. So why would the media decide to print this particular story if it's so true? Aha. Well, you see, the print media in particular and the digital platform media have to go cap in hand to a giant like Marks and Spencer's because they spend quite a lot of money on advertising. And in this particular period from September to December is when most retail associations spend the most money, trying to get us to spend money in the run up to Christmas, the big fancy Christmas ads, etc. So while all of these companies may be claiming, yes, we're back in profit and look, these people have turned the company around, quite frankly, you and I could turn any company around. You sit down with a spreadsheet, you look at it and decide what you're going to axe, and then instantly the company returns to profit. So how clever, truly, are these people? And if you are one of the very many affected people who've recently lost their jobs in retail, truly, I feel so sorry for you, because do take this as a note. It's not your fault, as ever, it's the people at the top, but it never affects them, does it? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.